This is every gym rat's biggest fear. I would pack up and search for a new gym.
Well, it's that time of year again. I briefly mentioned it in my last video, but in case you're someone who's just tuning into my channel for the first time, let me start by saying that I enjoy going to the gym. To be completely honest, working out and just generally being physically active helps a lot with my mental health. I know we all like to joke about the gym rats out there who treat the gym like their church and fitness as some sort of religion, but believe it or not, I was once kind of like that. When I was in college, besides going to class and making sure ChatGPT was given the right prompts to write out our essays, my friends and I didn't really have too much in the way of responsibility. So one of our go-to pastimes was working out at the school fitness center. And with some of my friends being big fitness nuts, we all were sort of working together figuring out the best exercises and routines and diet plans so we can all get super ripped and muscular, which in turn would help us get more girls. Yeah, it didn't go exactly as planned. Apparently to get girls to like you, you need something called an approachable personality, whatever the that is. But since graduating college and just having more adult responsibilities and obligations, I've come to realize I'm not always going to have time to work out or have access to the healthiest food every day. Since coming to terms with that, I've just been living my life in a way that I'm still moderately healthy, eating right and working out when I can, but not letting it bother me too much when there are times when other things just get in the way. For where I'm trying to be less concerned about my body and appearance, for everyone else this time of year, it's usually the exact opposite. Yes, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say pretty much everyone at some point in their lives has seen the beginning of the new year as the year they say they finally get in shape. Whether it be getting more muscular, more leaner, eating better food, improving your physical health is inarguably one of the most common New Year's resolutions out there. One survey estimated that as many as 96 million Americans plan to make health and fitness a priority in 2025. And when you decide that this is the year you finally start getting fit, where's the first place you think to go to? The gym, of course. And so begins the new year, new me gym season. To already seasoned gym goers, that Times Square ball drop might as well have been the countdown to doomsday. As for roughly the next 2 months, they can expect to deal with sparse parking, overcrowded training areas, and just nothing being available. And yes, all those things annoy me too. Get me mad enough and I could probably rant for hours about the different kinds of bullshit I've already dealt with so far this year. But everyone else on the internet has already done that, so I gotta do something different. Even though this time of year usually sucks, it's usually not the complete end of the world. For a lot of already seasoned gym goers, New Year's is kind of seen as just a temporary time of general annoyance that eventually goes away. That's because while all the new people is just something to be expected at this point, it's also well known that a good majority of them will quit not long after starting. Ballparking here, after about February, most of the new members are gone. There's a lot of reasons why so many new gym goers drop out. We'll go into more detail further on in the video, but they mostly boil down to people setting too high expectations for themselves and or having difficulty adjusting to new habits and routines. Which, when you think about it, it's a shame because we all want to feel better about ourselves and live healthier lives. So instead of just going off on a rant about the things that piss me off, I'm actually going to try and give some advice to hopefully make it easier for newbies to acclimate into the new lifestyle changes they want to make. Just some good beginner advice, as well as some general rules of conduct that's usually encouraged in the gym. Because trust me, I've seen plenty of people, both newbies and regulars, who can learn a thing or two about etiquette. If I do end up getting ranty later, apologies in advance. Last thing, I should clarify, with all the pointers I'm about to give, I'm giving it with the context that this is for people who are absolute beginners and are just looking to develop some better habits that are easy to maintain. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step diet and fitness plan to get an 8-pack or how to get Chris Bumstead shoulders. Not only are there other channels out there doing that who are way more qualified than me, but the amount of commitment and self-discipline those things require, I feel is way too much to put on a complete newbie. Again, what I want to talk about is stuff that'll hopefully make getting started a lot easier. With all that said, let's go into what I would say to someone who's looking to start their fitness journey. So the first thing I think you ought to do is sit down and truly figure out what exactly your goals are. One of the first reasons that come to mind to me why so many people quit so easily is because a lot of new gym goers don't really go in with a plan. Occasionally at my gym, I'll see some scrawny new guy one day. He'll only do like 5 reps at the bench, 2 sets of bicep curls, and then just lazily pedal on a stationary bike for 20 minutes while on his phone. After that, you just never see him again. And I can't help but cringe when I think about that kind of thing because I was honestly the exact same way. See, I didn't really start seriously working out until college. Before that, I would occasionally go to my dad's gym or even the small fitness center my high school had, but every time, all I really did was just some random exercises, then some cardio. Things only changed in college because one of the first friends I made was really into fitness, and he took the time to educate me more on the science behind muscle building and even help me set up an actual routine. So trust me, I know the feeling of walking into a gym for the first time and just being overwhelmed by all the different stuff there is. But hey, even if you're not sure where to start, you're already making progress just by being here, right? Yeah, not entirely. Yes, it is better than doing absolutely nothing at all, but first of all, that should not be your standard, and two, approaching it that way leaves you wide open to over and undertrain all your different muscles. In the long run, it's not really sustainable. This kind of thing is already known to pretty much every other gym goer, so to make sure each and every muscle group receives enough training and recovery time, everyone goes in each day planning to only work certain muscle groups. To use myself as an example, I do a push-pull leg split. Push days are my chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull days are my back and biceps. Legs are... well, yeah. Now, that's not the only approach out there. I know plenty of people whose split is more like upper and lower body, which is kind of self-explanatory, or even the bro split, where you just target one muscle group per day. I'm not going to get into what split is the best. I'm not trying to start wars on this channel yet. From what I've seen both online and with the people I've interacted with, it kind of comes down to personal preference. What split you find easier or enjoyable will depend on you. But just having a routine that gives enough focus to every muscle group every week will significantly improve your strength and growth. It'll also just make the environment of the gym less intimidating. You'll know ahead of time what exercises you want to do and what equipment you'll need to do them. I would even recommend having a plan when it comes to just approaching cardio. Cardio brings out a lot of great benefits, enough that I would say that anyone, regardless of their fitness goals, should make it a habit. But there's this big misconception that doing cardio burns off all the excess fat from your body, but that's not exactly true. Cardio burns calories, not fat. What makes you burn fat is being in a caloric deficit, eating less food than your daily maintenance. Doing cardio just helps you be more in that calorie deficit. If you're starting out very skinny and you're looking to gain weight and muscle, then you don't have to focus too much on it. And if it's the exact opposite and you're trying to lose weight, you may want to consider making cardio a staple of your regular routine. Knowing what exercises to do now leads me to my second point, which is that you shouldn't set your expectations too high so quickly. I think a lot of newbies are under the notion that size and muscle can be built super fast if they train intensely enough, but then when they don't see the progress they wanted after a couple weeks, they jump ship. Look, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that a majority of the people starting out are going to have very weak and underdeveloped muscles, which is fine, we all have to start somewhere, but you're not Sung Jin Woo, you're not going to go from twink to Giga Chad just as quickly as he did. Whether you're building strength or leaning out, things take time. Yet that doesn't seem to stop guys with the scrawniest, most atrophied builds I've ever seen trying to single-hand curl 40-pound dumbbells. Look, I get when you see the big Jay Cutler looking guy bench 225 as a warm-up, you may feel insecure. You want to prove to yourself that you can get that strong as well in no time. But you have to remember that you are just starting out, and the guy you're comparing yourself to has likely been training for years. And to even get to that size, probably had some outside help if you know what I mean. You are not the same. In my opinion, if you're starting out having next to no muscle, using and maintaining proper form is way more important than lifting as much weight as possible. You're better off starting at a light weight and aiming for high rep ranges, maybe about 10 or 15. You really want to feel yourself using the muscle you're specifically targeting. And using lightweight helps your body and muscles get more used to the exercise and movements. Consistency is key, and over time, you will be able to handle heavier weight. Fair warning though, after your first couple of workouts, expect your body to be sore. Which brings me to... a lot of new gym goers do not give the amount of attention to proper recovery as they should. In case anyone doesn't know, the actual science behind muscle building is fairly simple. The tension and resistance placed on your muscles in activities like weight training creates incredibly small tears in your muscle fibers. When your body repairs those fibers, they're rebuilt to be stronger and handle higher intense situations. But your body needs time and fuel to make those repairs, especially starting out. I vividly remember when I first got into weight training, I did an arm workout with my friend one day, felt completely fine afterwards and went through the rest of my day as normal, but when I woke up the next day, my arms were completely shot. Like, not kidding, it hurt to bend them. I was getting all worried about it, but my friends were like, dude, you're gonna be fine. You're just gonna wanna take it easy and not hit arms again for a few days. This somewhat ties back to the first point about making a plan. A lot of the regular gym goers schedule their workouts in a way so each muscle group has some time to recover before they're targeted again. So, like, I'll do a workout that hits my chest, shoulders, and tris, and then the next day I'll hit legs. I'm still getting my training in, but almost none of the pressure is on my upper body, so that part still has the time to take a break and recover. Setting aside time for ample rest is only part of the recovery process though. The other biggest factor is easily your diet. Now look, in no way am I going to start preaching, oh, to get in shape you have to eat nothing but chicken breast, rice, and broccoli.
Gotta be honest with you, tastes like
Like, no. I say this from personal experience. Getting so hyper fixated about always eating nothing but organic, clean food can easily wreck your mental health, and even potentially open you up to developing a certain condition this platform won't let me name drop. You shouldn't completely abstain from the treats that you like or be scared of going out with your friends or family just because you're worried about not hitting your macros perfectly. As someone who has been in recovery from having that mindset, I can tell you that it's still possible to get in good shape without completely cutting yourself off from the more indulgent stuff. I used to be concerned about keeping within my macros when I was younger, but now my mindset is more along the lines of a calorie is a calorie. At the end of the day, if you eat more or less calories than what your body requires daily, you'll gain or lose weight. I will say though, I still try to eat as healthy as I can. Not only do a lot of those nutrient-dense foods pack a bunch of vitamins that help improve your body in other ways, but they also usually do a good job of helping you feel satiated so you're not compelled to snack in between meals. Also, if I gotta be honest, if weight training and muscle building are your goals, I would also say that you definitely ought to prioritize eating more protein. But still, if you're being even somewhat consistent with training and eating healthy, the occasional cookie or having a couple of drinks with your friends one weekend is not gonna kill all your progress. It's all about moderation. You can still have ample room to enjoy more indulgent food without overly hurting your progress. That, I think, clears up all the points I want to make about approaching exercising and fitness. But now what I want to focus on is the proper conduct that is generally expected from you and, frankly, all gym goers. This section in particular is why I gave that warning about me getting ranty. Because when you are in the gym, you need to remember that this is a public space. No one is entitled to special treatment. But my god, the amount of people I have seen in a gym who think they're the main character. We all need a refresher on proper gym etiquette. First of all, for the love of all things holy, re-rack your f***ing weights. I swear to God, I probably spend on average a good 10 minutes at my gym every time just going on freaking scavenger hunts for the stuff I want to use. People will just grab all the free weights, go to whatever spot and do their thing, but then leave the weight just lying on the floor. It especially makes me angry when this only happens with one part of a pair. It's like losing one sock. Something about being teased about not having both making one useless drives me insane. Honestly, gyms and their staff need to do a better job enforcing proper re-racking. It's gotten so bad now. It used to be the dumbbells and the plates, but now at my gym at least, even the bars for the bench and the squat racks go missing. Like, seriously? Even when people put weights back on the rack, it's almost always in the wrong spot. Every gym I've ever been to has had labels on the rack for the different weights, but they get moved around so much that they never stay in the designated spot. What sucks is that when this happens, it pretty much causes a domino effect because I'll end up being guilty of doing it too. I'll try to put the weights in the correct spots, even if it means having to move a few others around, but then you get moments where the spot for a weight is being taken up by the 120s or something, and I gotta be honest, sometimes I don't want to deal with that. I'll end up putting my weight in just whatever spot I find, and the cycle continues. Similarly, if you get on a machine or grab a pair of weights, actually use them. I especially see this with older people. They'll get set up on some machine or whatever, and instead of using them, just spend like 5 minutes on their phone or talking to someone. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with talking to your friends at the gym, but unless there's really no one else waiting to use it, it's generally frowned upon to take up equipment and spend a long time between using it. Everyone rests in between sets to give their muscles a quick breather, but usually people try to keep it to a minimum. Try to aim for about 45 seconds to a minute for rest, then go into the next set. Then talk to your buddies after you're done. Then we got the vloggers and the influencers. I know everyone else has said it, but since the start of the year, I'm really seeing more people filming themselves at the gym, and it's really getting on my nerves. They'll bring their phone mounts and tripods, or they'll get their friend to film their workouts, and look, as long as they're not being a nuisance to me or anyone else, I generally don't care. I know some people want to record their transformations, and I can respect that, but there are so many times when I or anyone else will walk in front of one of their cameras, and they'll just stare daggers at you. Dude, the f***ing audacity to be annoyed. Most of the time, people just set up their cameras in spots where you're just inevitably gonna have people walking around. Like, we're talking like right in front of the weight rack sometimes. Do you seriously expect me and everyone else to just wait for you to get your shot before I can grab the weight I want? Remember, this is a public gym. The business and the staff are actually doing you the favor of letting you film there to begin with. You can't get mad just because the dude doing curls 10 feet away from you is f***ing up your composition. I brought my camera with me to the gym for a couple of days to show off the misplaced weights as well as to make some of my own B-roll. You know what I did when someone walked in my shot? Absolutely nothing. Cause to do anything else just makes you look like an entitled douchebag. But even that does not compare to what I truly consider to be the actual scum of the earth. And that's the people who film themselves in the locker room.
You recording right now?
Yes.
I don't want to be in your recording.
I don't care. You touch me, watch what happens.
Look, I get it. You want to check out your pump and show it off. But this is a locker room. You got guys in the background going to the bathroom and taking off their clothes. I'm gonna guess people don't want to be nearly naked in a stranger's public video. To the people who do this, I'm happy TikTok is gone. If it means you don't have a platform to pull this kind of crap, I'm all for it. While we're on the subject of the locker room, here's another thing etiquette-wise. Please just try to have some decency in the locker room. I know it's like playing with fire going into those places, but I swear, without fail, every time I go in there, I see at least 5 extremely old, wrinkly guys with absolutely no shame. They're just casually walking around with no clothes or towels, just bearing it all. And honestly, if what I've seen is any indicator of what being old does to you down there, then I'm actually hoping this is the day my pre-workout gives me a fatal heart attack. Again, it's a locker room, you're eventually going to see someone's dong, but I don't think I'm overstepping by saying you should at least make an effort to not flash everyone else in there. Not too long ago, I was taking a breather in the locker room after cardio. Again, you got a bunch of old dudes walking around with their cocks out. At this point, I'm just numb to it. But this guy walks in with like his 10-year-old son, and I swear to God, I hear him mutter "f*** under his breath when he turned that corner. He then got angry at me because I started laughing. But the point is, if you can help, just try to be mindful. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most guys at the gym don't want to see an old man's penis. But that was all the tips I have on gym etiquette. I probably shouldn't end the video talking about dicks though, so let me give you one last piece of advice to help make your fitness journey easier. Make sure to have a sick f***ing playlist at the ready. Oh my god, I cannot overstate how much of a difference there is listening to music at the gym. If my last video didn't already make it clear, I'm a loud and proud metalhead, and you can bet your ass I blast that in the gym. Especially the hardcore stuff with some screams and breakdowns, like some Slaughter to Prevail. Nothing gets me more amped. Like in those moments, I am ready to go to battle if need be. But I know metal is not everyone's cup of tea. I played Converge's Jane Doe for my grandma, and she is still in that coma. But the point is to have good music at the ready that'll amp you up and make you want to push yourself to get that last rep, or run that extra mile. Something that just makes the experience more fun. Which, if you really want to make fitness in the gym a long-term habit, it should be seen as fun. Truly as something to look forward to. We still have a few weeks left of the New Year gym season. I know it can be a hassle dealing with the flux of new people inside, but we should respect that these are all people looking to better themselves, the same as all us regulars were at one point, and we should hope they get to a place where they not only become happy with their body and progress, but also truly become a beloved member of the community gyms often cultivate. Then the only issue we have to worry about is parking. Which seriously, what the f***? Have none of these new people learned to park? I saw this literally the first weekend into the new year and I was dumbfounded. Do you park like this everywhere you go? You absolute f***.